Well, what up? What up? First of all, wow, it's a pleasure. I appreciate the intro. It's really good to be here, to be in a room full of black and brown, folks. It normally doesn't happen unless you're in certain parts of the country. So I'm gonna introduce myself real quick. I'm gonna call you out if you think you're hard. I am from Washington Heights, Spanish Harlem, pre-gentrification. I gotta be real about that. I grew up in New York in the 80s. And, I'm here, 2.5 years. I lived in different places. I lived in PA. I lived in Iowa. I'm from Puerto Rico. I'm an afro-latino Boricua. So I do want to acknowledge first and foremost the land we stand on, the native land that we stand on. And I also want y'all, males here, I want to share something before I start real quick. If it wasn't for women of color, historically and today, we would not be nowhere near where we are. So please give it up for women of color. And I'm a Scorpio. Let me tell you why I like to keep it real. So my name is Mike B. What do? I am the Chief Diversity Officer and Dean of Diversity and Inclusion at the University of Puget Sound in Tacoma, Washington. Which is crazy, given where I came from. So crazy that when I finished school and I went back to my crib, and I was telling my homies that I was done, they didn't even know what I was doing. They was like, yo, Mike, we just heard you got out the state pen. I'm like, what? No, I went to Penn State. I did 4 years at Penn State, man. I ain't trying to do the state pen, right? But that, I want to address that because I think that's part of that confusion at times, right, that we hold today. Even as I hear us talk, as I hear us chill, as I hear the way that we think about things and discourse and writing and the way we think about life. So I have one thing I'm going to do with you so you can see how crazy it is. So you can see how real and internalized the issues are. All right? I'm going to probe one statement. Alright? I'm going to probe one statement. And I want y'all to finish that statement for me because it's that real. Now, sometimes I did really dope in school. Sometimes I didn't. Sometimes I was a hardhead and I thought like I was mad G and mad hard. I would just lounge up in my seat like, yo, what this got to do with me? And sometimes I paid attention, particularly when the teachers were dope, had something to say and were able to break things down and relate and connect to me. Right? But then sometimes I got straight A's. And like folks can't see that, from people where I'm from. So whenever I used to get straight A's, I used to get mad happy. Like I go back to my community, back to my hell, like, yo, I just scored a 4.0, made honor roll, went on the platform, picked up that award that said 4.0. And then my homies came at me and said, you are trying to be, y'all finish that for me. Think about that. Think about how many of y'all resonated with that statement. So I am going to address what does it mean to be a person of color, unfortunately, in a foundation and a nation that is based on white supremacy. It's no need to skittle around it. It's all about truth and about keeping it real. Not like when Dave Chappelle keeping it real goes wrong, but like Dave Chappelle when keeping it real goes right. So here I am, this cat, right? I'm growing up. Every time I do good, I'm told you're trying to be this. But what does that sound when you flip it? Right? What does it sound if I got straight A's and somebody came at me and was like, what? You got straight A's, man? Why are you trying to be black? Why are you trying to be brown? Right? Because the concept of intellectualism is a human thing. It doesn't belong to anyone. But as youth, and in particular communities, we're taught that that's not part of our mantra, that's not part of who we are, and we got to break out of that. We got to break out of this pieces that tell us that we got to act and engage in certain ways when all we really need to do is be us. Now here I am. 2 years ago, I was the youngest Chief Diversity Officer in higher education in the nation, right? Coming out of Washington Heights. I couldn't even believe it. And I had to, rely on people to tell me, yo, own it, Own it. It's okay to be brilliant. Only y'all in this room are mad brilliant. So own that. Don't cut yourself short because folks are telling you or you think there's a certain way to be cool, when you don't need to. So I've prided myself in deconstructing language, right? So like terms like minority, for example. Right? I'm not a fan of that term, but I tell you what, are we a minoritized people? Yeah, we are. That means that we are born as human beings, and over the course of the period, we are minoritized in spaces. We are marginalized, hence, boom, to break out the margins means to get out the system that often minoritizes, marginalizes, oppresses us through different methods that they don't even know, like high school books. So when I'm reading a history book and it only has a page dedicated to my history, I see an issue with that. So I was that one cat who took it a step farther. So what I did is I was like, all right, this is what the teacher wants to hear, so I'm going to give the teacher these answers. A, D, all of the above. And then I would write this red line all the way across to the right side, and I would say, but this is the real answer. But here's the answer that you want to hear. Because I knew and understood that I still needed to get my A, so I wasn't going to flunk on some I'm being hard, let me show teachers they can't face me. But I still needed to show that there's an integrity and an honesty and a part of my life that has not been acknowledged in these history books, or even in the way that teaching is engaged, right? And so I want to bring those up because they're important. Y'all are provided this opportunity today and in school, but it's up to y'all to carve that space. Y'all don't have to let others define that space for y'all. Y'all can define that space for yourselves on your own. So even when I go back home, or when I'm going back home and folks thought again that I just got out the state pen, and I'm here, right, pushing to show folks like, nah, I'm trying to get my grind on and be in education. Because I feel like in education, we don't have enough administrators who are willing to push envelopes. Now, let me keep it real. I'm also that cat that's not scared of getting fired. I don't live for a system. I live through the work that's necessary for humanity, for equity, for inclusion. And y'all need to understand that from mad early. So for those of y'all who are already